Hello, friends. Welcome back. War 3 Season 13. Hope your week has started off great. My 5-month-old son has crapped through his pajamas the last 4 nights in a row, so my life has been a party this week. So, going in today with Void and Namor and Symbiote Supreme. Warlock gets to stay at home. And we've got a bunch of fights today, so let's get right to it. So, the first part of my path in Tier 1 was empty, which was nice. But the downside is that I get to take this Annihilus. This is on the Aegis or Aegis Heavy node, and Symbiote Supreme is pretty much the perfect counter to Annihilus in any situation. Since he nullifies that Cosmic Control Rod at the start of the fight, you are free to safely parry him with guaranteed results. When he has that Cosmic Control Rod buff up, it's like a 60% chance that he's stun immune, and if he hits you and you don't parry him, you're going to be in trouble because he puts those obliteration debuffs on you, and then when you dex, he goes unstoppable, and he's just a complete nightmare. So, a champ like Symbiote Supreme or Clairvoyant or Scarlet Witch or anybody who can easily nullify that buff at the start of the fight or close to it is going to have the best time. So build up to the special 3, and Annihilus is not bleed immune. So once we get the genetic potential up to 100, we'll just start nuking him down with some bleeds, and our staggers have taken control of preventing Cosmic Control Rod from reappearing. So this is, in terms of counters for this fight, it's just, this is as good as it gets with Annihilus. So in normal fights against other champions, he's a complete nightmare for a defender. All right, moving up, we're taking the left mini today. This is the Aggression Fury. And the links are down, so I don't have to worry about Prove Yourself or Enhanced Fury. I'm going to do a light boost. I actually should have timed this better because I can only get this fight and the next fight out of this set of boosts. If I had waited an hour, I could have gotten the third fight, so I ended up having to boost one extra time than needed, but, it happens. All right, so you can see we're going in with Namor, who is my go-to Korg counter in absence of a high Sig Omega Red, which I don't have at all. So this Korg is only a 455, so you can see he's going down pretty easily. Now in an Aggression Fury fight, and this really goes with anybody, not just Korg, you want to stay aggressive as possible, because if you let it go too long, those Furies they stack up. And even if he's hitting in your block, which is a common theme of many Korg fights because he's not always able to be parried, that block damage can add up after a few Furies, and you don't want to let that happen. So I've managed to pretty much keep the Furies to a minimum or to gone completely. This special 3 will remove his rock stacks. And then we should be able to get a second SP3 off here, right? So we time the Imperious Rex correctly, get the 5-hit combo in just to do some extra damage, and I actually think this second SP3 outright kills him with the previous Fury intact. So, oh, I was wrong. 2% left. So we again successfully get the SP2 off without completely whiffing on it. That was a problem for me last season, so I've really tried to focus on not letting that happen this season. So full AB, pretty happy with that fight. All right, moving up to Tier 2, we have a Sabretooth on a Recovery, Vigor, and Indomitable. I think if I had Warlock, I probably would have taken Warlock into this fight, but I needed Void for this and for another fight later on. So if I didn't need Symbiote Supreme for what turned out to be the Annihilus fight and then the fight after this, I probably would have brought Warlock. But, can't bring everybody that you want. And that's really one of the problems with this map in general, I think, is there are more fights and counters needed for a given path than you have spots in your attack team to handle, and that can be made a little bit easier by taking easy paths in both tiers 1 and 2, but then you're just making it harder on somebody else. So we really do try and kind of split it up. If you're taking a moderate to easy path in tier 1, then take a bit of a harder path in tier 2. I would think my normal path in tier 1 is 8. I would consider it pretty easy. The long distance relationship node is not really that difficult. But if you don't have the right counters on this top lane in 1, you're really gonna have a bad time. So all right, so I talked through the whole way through that Sabretooth fight, but there's really nothing special going on there. Just letting him degen himself to death there. All right, so we have a Captain Marvel, the Brie Larson version on Recovery Buffet. So anytime I see Captain Marvel on this node, this is an automatic I need Sim Supreme no matter what, because he is one of the very few champions who can beat this fight. If you're not familiar with why she is so difficult on this fight, once you get her up to, is it 10, I think, of the binary charges, if you knock her down at any point after that, she will go binary and she will completely purge all debuffs and go indestructible. And then her special attacks are unblockable too, as she just becomes a huge pain. So it's really difficult without a proper Mystic Champ to keep her binary and her indestructible in check. And also, the buffet plus the recovery means that if you dex at the wrong time, you're going to be healing her for like 45% of her health, I think it is total. So you can see I'm probably boosting more than is necessary, but this is absolutely a fight that I don't want to screw up. So Mystic Champs are the best to fight Captain Marvel in any situation because she takes extra energy damage from them. So you can see I'm still giving her binary charges because all of Sim Supreme's attacks are energy based, but she's taken, you can see, kind of tick down twice whenever I hit her. So the Power Start node, or Power Start 1 boost rather, helped me to get to my SP3 early. So right there you can see I intentionally knocked her down to activate binary, and this was because when I activate my SP3, it's going to nullify her Fury and the indestructible buff and give her some extra damage from those. So that was done on purpose. So now I'm in my bleed phase, so buffet should pretty much be over. I just have to hopefully nuke her down before this phase ends. 10 bleeds is more than enough to keep buffet, and then 1 SP2 finishes her off. So took a couple hits there, but all in all, that is pretty much how you want that fight to go if you see her on that node. All right, next 2 fights my alliance mates took, so we're up on Boss Island. This is the following morning, so today we've got another Korg. This is on the Counter Tactics Breakthrough node, so I'm going to pop another couple of light boosts. This is, again, just a 455, so probably could have taken this with Namor unboosted, but you don't want to chance these things, especially since I haven't died yet in this war. You can see this person's running suicide, so actually that doesn't matter in this fight because Namor doesn't punish suicide, so I don't really know why I mentioned that. So with the breakthrough node, he's going to be taking increased damage with each successive physical hit, and by the time I get to the SP3, he's going to take so much damage, I think it just kills him. So other than that, it's just another Korg fight. This one is more dangerous, obviously, because of counter tactics. When he hits into your block, or if you happen to get tagged, it's going to hurt really bad. So this fight with anybody on this node is really about just don't lose your combo. Try to control their power, cycle their specials as best you can. Because even taking blocked hits, similar to the Korg on Aggression Fury, it's going to be really painful. So you can see there, I took a couple blocked hits, and it took, like 10% of my health or so. So we got our second SP3 up here, and if I'm not incorrect, then I think this one might outright kill him. Yep, there we go. So number 2 Korg down, and we're moving on. All right, so next up we have a Sinister on Recovery Strike Back. Now, I think I mentioned last war, I also had a Sinister on this node, which I took with Warlock. I mentioned that Void would definitely be the faster method to take this fight. So you can see exactly kind of what I'm talking about. Though you don't get the heal block up as quickly with Void because it's really dependent on the debuffs, whereas with Warlock you can get it up with a couple parries and a combo or two. It's really more effective because you're You're able to use your specials with Void once you have your Petrified debuffs up, or if you are safely below threshold of 2 bars of power. And being able to use your specials means that you can get more degen up, and you're constantly degenning him. Unlike with Warlock, who when I took this fight last war, I pretty much just saved my special 3 until the very end because I was very concerned about giving him extra power. Warlock is kind of safe to block his special 2 because he's got that armor buff, so it's not going to do a whole bunch of damage. But I think I finished this fight with over a minute remaining, which is much, much faster than when I finished it with Warlock last war. So, we're not even halfway through. I've got Fear the Void up here. Going to pop a special 2 here because he's been pretty liberal with his specials, so I figure I can get an extra source of degen here, and there we go. I do get a degen on myself. I'm not sure if I must have mistimed the dodge on there and just blocked it, even though I could have sworn I dodged back. So, willpower helped mitigate that, and I don't really. Well, I end up needing Void for another fight later, but I wasn't aware of that at the time. So, all right, just gonna let the degen finish him off. There he goes. Down goes Mr. Sinister. All right, what I thought was gonna be my last fight is a Medusa on the debuff immune, energy resistance, crit resistance node. Gonna just top off Sim Supreme. Since this is debuff immune, I can't rely on his bleeds to really nuke her down. So I am gonna pop another set of Mystic boosts, just because I'm gonna rely on my special 3 to keep up my genetic potential, and then some special 2s to steal her power. So we're gonna go in with a medium Mystic power boost, and then a maximum special damage boost. So we're going to bait out the heavies and go back in rather than let the heavy fully play out. Pop off a nice little intercept there. She evades, but I managed to get out of the way just in time, luckily, because she went right into her special 1. And that was a little subtle reminder that I need to do 4 hits and back out because our opponents were running dodge. And I didn't notice it during the Captain Marvel fight, so I don't think she ended up evading at all, but you can see Medusa's evaded twice already. Excuse me. All right, so we got our special 3 up, and Medusa has Living Strands active, so we will be able to nullify and give her some extra damage from nullifying those Furies. And you did notice, I'm sure, that this person is running Suicide, so my job is made a little bit easier by her taking 5% recoil damage every time she uses a special, which is really nice. So again, a fight I probably ended up over boosting for. I could have probably dueled this person beforehand. So right there, I don't know what I was doing. I meant to do a quick special 2 there. She ended up blocking the whole thing. So now I'm kind of left without power in a node that I can't really do anything with. So a mode, not a node. Man, I can't talk today. So just trying to wait it out. And special 2, doesn't quite do enough. So now I'm kind of like, looking at the clock. I mean, it's only 20% left. I'm not panicking. I'm not feeling like this is gonna end. Just gotta make sure that she continues to bait those special attacks. As long as she's willing to throw those special attacks, she's basically gonna kill herself. So there we go. 5-10% down just from the couple of SP1s, and down she goes. So I did end up getting a shot at the Invisible Woman boss, but I was at work and I was in a hurry running between meetings, so I didn't get a chance to record it fully, but I did snap a screenshot, ended up timing out. She was at full health, so I did about 80% damage with Void, which was pretty good considering I had never fought an Invisible Woman boss before. And for all of my troubles, I did get MVP, which almost never happens because I have the worst defense in my battle group, so pretty happy about that too. And even happier that we came out with the victory. My potion usage was really low, which is great because the last 2 wars I think I dumped about 12 L4 potions total. So having a light item use other than the 3 rounds of boosts, which really kind of sucked, is nice. So no deaths, also awesome. First time this season that I came out clean. If you're new to this channel, I don't really count timeouts as deaths because I don't really feel like I did anything wrong other than not having enough damage. So brings our record to 2-1. And that's really about it. So if you like this kind of stuff, please feel free to like the video or leave a comment. Let me know how your third war of the season went. And if you want to see more of my war gameplay and some other various videos now and then when I have the time and I'm not wiping poop off my baby's butt in the middle of the night, please feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. So, all right, that's about it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.